Well, hi, today we're going to be grooving this pan, and I want to confess to you that I actually spent another couple of hours countersinking before we do this. I wanted this, I took a second look at my work and realized that I had really spent too much time in the middle making things perfect, and I hadn't really spent enough attention on the rim notes. And so I wanted to make the valley between all of the rim notes a little more pronounced and flatter, and I wanted to create a nice flat surface along all of these lines that I'm going to be grooving on so that I didn't run into any bumps or anything along the way. And I also wanted to flatten around the outer rim about an inch of flat surface there so that it'll be a little easier to tune later. The closer that I can make this pan in shape to its final shape while I'm at this early process, the easier that the tuning and everything is going to go later. So I just wanted to spend extra time on this countersinking to make sure that it looked and felt like a real pan. And it really does. The notes are actually even more, after I've worked another couple of hours on it, the notes are actually even more isolated and different pitches inside. So the grooving is not a completely necessary step these days. In this modern age, we have plenty of tuners who tune and do not groove the pans. Instead of grooving, they'll scribe a line in the metal that stays there, and you can see that little line. It's just a little hairline that defines the note area. What really isolates the pitches from one another is the difference in contour. It's those valleys between there and the bowl, the dead spots. And there's some people who believe that grooving helps reinforce that. I'm not a scientist on the matter, so I won't weigh in on that, but I will say that the groove is visually more appealing to me. I can actually see the notes better. I'm getting old enough that I need help seeing what I'm doing. And so the grooves are a little wider than just a scribe line, and that's what I'm going to do. I learned this from Ellie Manette and Cliff Alexis 35, 40 years ago, and back then all the pans were grooved. If you look at a professionally done grooving job, and this is one of the pans that we have here at Steel Magic Northwest, these are pans built by Augustus Peters. You can see, if you look closely, that the grooves are actually hundreds and hundreds and thousands of punch marks. And this is the tool that is used to do that. I have a 1/4 inch punch here, and it's been flattened off. When you buy one of these at the store, it's just a nail punch. And when you buy one of these at the store, it's kind of got a little bowl in it on the business end. And I took it to a machinist, and it was flattened off. So this is a special, it's not just off the rack punch. But this surface here, this flat surface here, is what actually makes all of the individual dents. The groove on the rim notes does not extend all the way to the rim of the barrel. So I've taken some measurements from my other pans and transferred those measurements to my combination square, and I'm making a mark on all of my radial lines to indicate where it is I should start the grooving. Well, I haven't done this in 35 years, but I think what I'm going to do is go around on all of the straight lines first. I think I'm going to do that first just to get my touch, because typically the metal's a little bit thicker there, and they're straight lines, and I can kind of develop my touch that way. And then as I get my confidence, I'll start back out in the middle and work my way out with all of the center notes.
On a Sunday afternoon, really couldn't get away too soon. I can't imagine anything that's better. The world is ours whenever we're together. There ain't a place I like to be.
Well, I've completed the process of putting the straight parts of the grooves of the rim notes and the curved parts of the rim notes in here. So I'm done with the rim notes, and that was a fairly easy process. Now I'm going to try to tackle the center notes, and I've already done my C5 just as a test, and it was okay. But the steel, it responds a little differently in the middle, and so I'm just going to be very careful and go slow and hopefully get this thing done soon.
Place I like to be instead of moving down a crowded avenue. Doing anything we like to do. There's always lots of things that we can see.
Well, I think I'm officially done grooving, and this is a good thing because it's taken me a while. For one thing, I had a busy week, and for another, I wanted to go very slow on this job and take my time and not rush it. But the pan is grooved, and each note is now officially lined out, and I could erase the scribe marks, which is why I could finally get rid of some of that paint in there. And from here on out, I don't have to use any lines for anything. There's no more marking of anything in here. It's all just hammering and fire from here on out. I'm looking forward to the next step. As you look inside of this thing, you can see that the area around the grooves in between notes looks puffy. It looks like it's puffed up a little bit. And the next step that we're going to do is flatten all that back down. It's called leveling. And the goal is going to be to try to make this pan look as much like a finished pan as possible, with all the notes having some of the shape that they're going to have when we're tuning, after we're done tuning, in fact. So the closer I can get this thing to look like a real pan before I throw this on a fire, the better odds I have of getting this thing tuned successfully. So I can't wait. I'm very excited to get on with the rest of this. That's it for this episode, or whatever these are, and I will chat with you again later after we have done some leveling. So look forward to leveling next time. For now, I'll say keep your stick on the ice. Ciao.